It's the place you go when you finish your show. We're your two best friends. Our names are Max and Ben. We're self-proclaimed television experts. It's Reality Alert. And we are here with the dude herself, Heather / Andy. Heather, how are you doing?
I am the dude. Wow, that was good. That was pretty good.
Our bro Heather.
Yeah.
I'm the leader of the bro pack or the bro squad, whatever we named ourselves.
Yeah.
I'm not the leader because I'm the first one out, but I'm great. How are you guys?
Good. How many hard seltzers did you shotgun before you came on this podcast?
How many White Claws were you shotgunning?
Yeah.
Okay. 0. I do have these actually came from my Circle apartment. They gave me these in my Circle apartment and I got hooked. 0
Zevia, okay.
Zevia, okay.
A healthy diet soda.
This episode is sponsored by Zevia, so that's good.
Zevia, apparently, yeah. Here we go.
Shotgun it for you guys if you want me to.
It's up to you.
It's up to you.
It is a
thing.
thing.
If this is the rock star life, then we want to see it, you know.
No, it became a trend on one of my tours that like after every show we'd pack up the trailer and all of the crew would grab a White Claw and shotgun it outside the trailer. It's like we did it. And so it just became a thing.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Okay.
Oh, Andy, you dirty boy.
Oh my gosh, she cracks me up.
So Heather, how did you end up on the Circle? How did you go from rock star to Circle contestant?
It's weird. 2 years ago, about 2 years ago, 2.5 maybe, I really wanted to kind of like start doing TikTok kind of stuff. Like I'm not naturally very creative, but I wanted to kind of like force myself into that world for maybe like a side income. Somebody found me really soon after I like started that journey and asked me to be on a show that I'm not going to name for, I don't know if it's legal reasons, but just to be safe. And I said no. I was like, that's not my style. It was a dating show. Wasn't my thing. So she kept me in mind for when she was casting other shows. And
was this a Netflix show? Can I ask that? Was it Netflix?
It was not. No, it was not.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know what I'm allowed to say, so I'm just not going to say it.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
So then 9 months later, she hits me up again out of nowhere, like no warning. And she's like, hey, I'm casting another show. You interested? And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Why not? And long story short of that, I made it to the final round of that show, got cut on my birthday. And that was kind of like, oh, well, I never like saw myself on TV, but when the opportunity came around, I was like, sure, why not? But 3 months of interviews for that one to get cut in the final round kind of like hurt a little bit. So I kind of had my mind set and it didn't happen. But then she comes around a third time a month after that. And she's like, I'm casting for the Circle. Are you interested? I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. Like, that's my favorite show ever. Let's do it. And a couple interviews later, here we are.
So you were already a fan of the Circle then?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I've watched every season. I'm a reality TV slut. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So are we. So.
Yeah, I love this shit. Like I study Big Brother. The Challenge is my favorite show ever. So I was a big fan. Yeah. The Challenge fucks, but
yeah, the Challenge does fuck. Have you seen the international versions of the Circle or just okay? You should. The British ones are really good, like kind of the best ones.
Not seasons 1 through 5, like a different, separate British one.
Yeah, there's 3 versions. There's 3 seasons of the British Circle. They're filmed in the same building, you know, that all the seasons 1 through 5 were, and they're really good. They're super good. Yeah.
On Netflix, like American Netflix.
They're not on American Netflix. You have to like find them online, but they're really good.
They're findable though. They're findable.
Okay, well that's what I'll be doing. My episodes come
They're
out.
like really amazing. Yeah, they're super good.
Okay, do you recommend one or the other?
I would start on season
1 is the best one, then 3, then 2. But yeah, they're really good. But 1 is the best one. Like really good.
Got it.
Was there any person from previous like US seasons that you had seen that you were hoping to model your game on after?
Ooh, that's a good question. So obviously season 6 was filmed before us, and we didn't see season 6 before we played, but when I was watching season 6, Kyle and Brandon stood out to me. They played with their heart, and I knew if I were to ever go on some social strategy game show, that's what I would fall into, because that's just me. Like, I'm an emotional little fucker. So I knew like the strategy behind these games was going to be where I would struggle, but the circle, you see it as a game like it's a little more lighthearted than others. Like, it's not Big Brother where you're backdooring people. I mean, Shuby came in with his whole strategy in season 5, but the circle was more like you do build connections. You do play with your heart. So I thought I would have been better at this one than maybe some other ones. But as far as like seasons 1 through 5, I'm trying to think of someone who stands out to me. I think Yu Ling played a similar game. Yu Ling was very like true to herself and like her quirky little self, and she built her friendships and like kind of stuck to it. I don't remember her doing anything shisty. Definitely not Brett. Definitely not Marvin.
What's wrong with
Sammy
Marvin?
from season 1.
What's wrong with Marvin?
What's wrong with Marvin? What did Marvin ever do wrong?
Kevin? Marvin? Just kidding.
Marvin is a bad boy.
Oh my
Bad
god. No,
boy.
I would say Sammy from season 1. Like, you could see her just being herself and like playing the game and like coming with whatever is thrown at her. I like her a lot.
Honestly, that is
Yeah.
that is like the archetype of player that I feel like does traditionally do very well on the circle. That is the way.
Yeah, and that was like
just from the
especially with our season, like you don't know what shit's about to get thrown at you day one. And so like you kind of can't come in there with a strategy. Like I for sure my number one the number one thing I did not want to do was win influencer day one, because like you watch Big Brother, first HOH is always fucked. So I like didn't want to win first influencer, and I don't know how I did, but that was the only strategy I really had, and it clearly got thrown out the window. So it's hard to come into the circle with a strategy not knowing what the twists are going to be.
Well, you came into the circle not as yourself, but as somebody else. How did you end up catfishing? Was this your idea or somebody else's idea?
It was kind of just like all options were really thought about and talked about. Like, do I want to play as myself? Do I want to play as someone else? And I was okay with either. Like, I would have happily played as myself, but when thinking about like, okay, if I was going to catfish, who would I catfish as? And like starting to go through the options, it became a really fun idea. And also like you watch these reality shows, you don't see a lot of like metalcore alternative people. So I just thought it would have been like a really cool idea to get that, like my industry involved somehow. And so Andy, he was actually like a name on a list at first. Cause like we've been friends for like 3 years now. You hear me say on the show that I got friend zoned. It's not that deep. We went on one date 3 years ago and we've been best of friends ever since. And so when like going through this list of dudes that I would catfish as, it really did come down to like who would appreciate this experience the most with me, instead of just like, here's your photos, bye-bye. So the friendship I have with Andy, like I just knew him as a person would really kind of like soak this in and like be there with me. And it's really weird because when you watch me in the show, you hear me say like us and we a lot. I really was like, everything I did in there, I had him in mind kind of. I was like, all right, what would Andy think about this? Like, am I going to embarrass the shit out of him real quick? So I kind of like, I wanted a partner really. As much as it's my own game, I wanted a friend, and he was kind of the obvious choice there.
How does he feel about all this? Has he been spotted in the real world, as Circle Andy?
Yeah.
Not Andy band member.
So he's more like popular than any of us right now, but he
not us. We get spotted all the time.
Oh, do you really?
I walk through Los Angeles and be like, oh my God, Max from Reality Alert. Can I have your autograph?
Shit, if
And
I saw
I have to run through the paparazzi. No pictures.
Same here in Denver. It's the same thing.
Oh, I bet you Denver's crazy.
Podcasters.
The paparazzi scene in Denver is nuts.
Yeah.
They usually
Really?
just follow John Elway around everywhere, but then then sometimes
Paparazzi's illegal here, so I'm in the clear.
Yeah, podcasters were the new A-listers, so we have a lot to worry about.
You guys are just crushing it out here, I bet.
Yeah. Reality TV podcasters.
I love it. If I saw you guys at like a Publix, I'd say hi.
That's nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You don't have Publix though, do you?
No.
Okay. Anywho, I went to Detroit for the second drop episodes to watch them with him, and we like bopped around to a couple bars and everything. And I guess he's told his community, like his little like neighborhood bartenders, about the show. So we walked into our favorite bar, Sneakers, in Detroit, and the bartender goes, "Hey, Catfish," to him. So he like it's gotten around his neighborhood, but no, he's still just Andy from We Came as Romans, and that's gonna play a bigger role in his life than this will. But yeah, he's getting jokes all around for sure.
So let's get into the circle. Okay, let's get into the circle a little bit. Preparation. Did you do any preparation for catfishing as Andy, and did he help you out at all? What was your preparation like for preparing to be Andy?
Yeah, so I officially asked him, I think it was like mid to late July of last year, and I immediately went on tour for the rest of July and all of August. August and September. Yeah, August and September I was gone, and we filmed in October. So the 5 weeks leading up to filming, I was on the road. Like if I wanted to like make my own t-shirts or something, I had no time to. I just took my tour suitcase, went straight from Vancouver where I ended, and then to Atlanta pretty much. But Andy, living in Detroit, he found a way to come meet me when I crossed through Columbus on a day off and a show day. We had a day off and a show day. So he sold merch for me that day, and then we sat in a hotel lobby and took notes for like 3 hours just in case somebody recognized him. Like that was a thought, like what if there's someone who listens to this kind of music as another player? Luckily it didn't happen, but I went into the circle. I'll show you. Actually, I have them right here. Stand by. I have my notes. So we sat in a hotel lobby in Columbus and took notes on everything Andy, including like Detroit stuff about his tattoos, stuff about the band, places he's toured, like stuff about yoga because he does yoga often, like everything. All the pictures and videos he submitted, he told me the story behind them in case there's like one of those challenges where like the Michelle challenge where they were like, where was this picture taken or whatever. I was ready. So yeah, he came down and helped me out. We did like a little photo shoot that day, and yeah, like I was prepared. Didn't need these notes once, but I was prepared.
He showed you how to do his makeup and all that.
Yeah. He showed me how to play bass and everything.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I don't know how much you guys actually pay attention to every single detail, but I do because like it's me on the screen. But on my little letterboard, I wrote something different almost every day, and half of what I wrote was an inside joke to just me and Andy. Like I think on my last day when we're doing the tarot card thing, my letterboard says lock the door, and that's an Andy inside joke. And then in the chat with Garrett, when we formed the Mermen, I say something like, I want to see you do a double backflip off the balcony. That's an Andy inside joke that I managed to like slide in there somehow. So like we were in this together the whole time, even though he was on tour. But
it's sweet.
It is. It's a cute little bond that we have going on.
Yes.
It is, yeah. I feel like you guys definitely have a stronger bond than most. I feel like people who are catfishing as their person do usually. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like, because you see Deb as Rachel, like all we know about the real Rachel is that she's a family friend or something.
Yeah.
And then the boys as Gianna, like that's one of their girlfriends. And then
that's a pretty strong bond, yeah, I would say. Yeah, but not as strong as you and Andy.
No. Absolutely not. Hey, he's not gonna put he's only 24, Max. He's not gonna put a ring on it yet.
That's fucked up.
Not that strong of a bond.
You put a ring on it.
Triggered. But no, Andy, I knew like at the end of the day, like filming only takes so long. And like, yes, this is on Netflix, but also like, this is my life. So I wanted to come out of that experience with like, okay, I was on this TV show. That's cool. I got to play my favorite like social game. That's cool. But also like, this is going to be something I carry with me for a while. So let me make it as meaningful as possible. I stole some things out of the apartment. Oops.
Arrested.
It's,
We're going to get you arrested.
Calling 911.
Yeah.
oops, my bad. Sorry, Netflix. But no, I just wanted to come out of this with like something that was deep and meaningful. And like,
We heard they gutted the building. We didn't know that it was you though that gutted it.
You what?
Yeah, we heard that they cleared the building out, but we didn't know that it was you that cleared the building out of all the props. You stole everything. Yeah.
No, I had like a little bingo ball roller as one of my decorations, and I took my favorite number out of it, and I took a number for Andy. I think Andy has one of them, but yeah, no, we're close, we're tight, and this has brought us even closer. So I win.
All right, let's talk circle. All right, you became a part of the Bro Alliance. What was being in this alliance like with the bros? How are you feeling? Quickly, like at the beginning, the Bro Alliance formed like the first episode. So what was it like in the beginning? You know, the nascency of the Bro Alliance. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I think that was my first chat. So of course you're getting presented with a group chat of people who want to form an alliance. You're not going to say no. So I left that chat and I was like, all right, I got the bros. This is my first alliance and probably going to be my closest alliance since we formed this bond on day one. Like, let's roll with this. Whoever would have messaged me that first day, it could have been Gianna and Rachel starting a group chat with me. That would have been the alliance, because you're only like, you can only work with so much in the circle, and every conversation matters. Every chat matters. So you leave a chat with someone and you're like, okay, there's a bond there. Like, even if it's just like talking about how you're married, there's a bond there that you have to carry throughout the game because those are your people now. So the bros, it just happened to be Kevin and Darian. Darian wanted to explain that he can't swim, and that's how it was for the next 6 episodes.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a lot of bonding in shotgunning White Claws, as we know. So.
Yeah.
Listen, if I could get the entire cast of Shotgun and White Claw for the sake of a video to put this to rest, I will.
Hey, at that circle rap party, that's going to be the chance. You got to.
I'm not going to be there.
Oh no.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be there, so I'll shotgun one in your honor. You know, I'll be there for you.
Okay, you'll have to send me a video because that's gonna.
Yeah. They invite podcast celebrities to these things now, so that's why I'll be there and you won't. Yeah.
Moving up in the
now
world.
the paparazzi will be there now.
The paparazzi will be there for me. Guys, I'm just trying to party. here.
Try Shotgun and White Claw with the bros.
The bros.
The bros.
Tell my bros I said hey.
So you became influencer after the first ratings. So when you started crying, I thought you were crying because you were happy. Were you crying because you were like, "Oh fuck, I'm gonna get sent home"? Was that one?
It was both. Yeah, it was immediately like, because it's still day one, and the day one emotions are like, "Holy fuck, I'm here! Holy fuck, I'm here! This is crazy." So ending day one on being influencer after doing nothing. I think I made a comment about tequila. I made a bro alliance, and then we play some game that Andy doesn't stand out in at all. How the fuck did I make first place? Don't know. But I start crying because I'm like, holy shit, this is something like everyone in the circle wants to do at some point, not first day, but at some point. And then immediately after the happy tears were, I'm fucking screwed. Like this is bad gameplay. This isn't what I want at all. So that was not.
In some seasons it has worked out, but yeah, in others it puts a huge target on your back too. So
some seasons didn't have.
It's kind of a flip of a coin. Yeah.
So
some
then
didn't have ghosts back.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. No disruptor twists. But we get to the influencer hangout with Jadeja. It gets down to not with Jadeja. You're with Savannah. I apologize. It gets down to Jadeja and Gianna. They're the two you get down to being your choices for being blocked. But was there anything that we didn't see in this hangout that you think was relevant, or do you think that the edit was pretty good here?
No, that was the easiest chat ever. Like that was so quick and like we were on the same page. Like she, obviously you've seen the show, she had a chat with Rachel, so that's duh. And then I had Darian and Kevin, and I tried to keep it as like low key as possible. Like I don't want her to be going back to her apartment writing down Andy's in alliance with so and so. So I was like, Darian, Rachel, Kevin, and then she brings up a good point about Jadeja, saying like she came in third place, it would tarnish her reputation to vote her off. And I'm like, agree. So that leaves Gianna. Gianna was rated last that day. Easiest choice ever. Easiest choice ever. And so like that, yeah. And then I had to announce it to the group, and we see how that goes. But yeah, nothing that was left out in that chat.
Is this when you figured out about the disruptor twist, or did you figure out when everybody else did? Or is this when?
Yeah, I think so I don't know where in the timeline the other player, like the 5 that were at risk were, but it happened. Like I send the message, the player we decided to block is next message, Gianna, and then alert. And I know the show that doesn't happen. Like you don't get an alert in the hideout after you block someone. So my heart, what does Jadeja say? My heart sank to my ass. Play it.
Not just Jadeja.
Yeah, hold on.
Now my heart is in my kneecaps.
There's pressure in my ass because my heart is sitting there.
That was me that day. Yeah.
You want to do the other 50?
No, we don't need to do that.
From the other seasons?
So I imagine that everybody got that alert at the same time that was about to announce that Gianna was disruptor. So Gianna knew Gianna was disruptor, but nobody else did. So I think that all happened at the same time. And then I'm sitting there like, this is it. Game one, like game over on day one.
Are you sour about the disruptor twist? Because I can't tell if you're sour or not.
Which one?
Yeah, I don't know. Which one?
All of them.
Let's start with this one.
Yeah, because I don't think it was this one that screwed you over necessarily.
It certainly didn't help you get off on the right foot.
Yeah, but I think it was
to spend time doing damage control.
I think it was the third or it was the fourth one. Was there 4? Or was there 3?
It was 4, wasn't it?
The fourth.
I was in 3.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it was the
one, the party one, and then the profile switch one.
Yeah.
Yeah, all 3 of them fucked Andy. All of them. Yeah. Think about it. Gianna gets saved. Oh, Gianna's coming after Andy. Kevin doesn't pick Andy. Oh, I'm left out. There's a whole VIP shit happening, and Gianna's in it. Sick. And then the profile swip. Well, we see how that one goes. So, like, disruptor. Am I salty about it? It makes for good TV, is what I'll say.
It's true. All right. You and Meline quickly become circle husband and wife in your first chat. You were just all about these first chats. What was your relationship with Meline like? And what was that first romantic chat like?
It was normal. It was what you see. It was like, all right, quick into husband and wife. And I was like, all right, I've locked this in. I'm no longer fifth wheeling. I now have a triple date kind of thing going on. Wasn't really the initial plan because, like, yes, little showmances happen on the circle, but not like that. And so I was like, all right, like if this is a player I need, then the same way Kevin had Savannah and might have Gianna or Meline or whoever he wants, and Darian has Jadeja, I was like, all right, I need to secure, I guess, a female relationship type partner showmance to kind of like be on their level. And she was all about it. You see, she was like, Andy, oh my God. Yeah. So, I was happy about that because I knew I wasn't ever going to, making nice with Gianna wasn't ever going to fully bring back 100% trust for either of us. So I knew that was it.
You said you were a reality junkie. Had you seen Temptation Island?
No,
before you watched this. Okay.
Did anyone bring it up? Did anyone go?
Did it get brought up at all? That she looked familiar in any way? Okay.
Did she say at all that her real name is Juicy? Was that brought up at all?
Never. But I didn't know to not call her Maddie, and I was calling her Maddie the entire time.
Yeah, you kept calling her I was like, who the fuck is Maddie? Her name is Juicy. Like, the whole thing was very confusing.
What they don't show is when I do meet her in person, one of the first things I say, I'm like, oh my God, Maddie. And then I stop myself. I'm like, wait, do you prefer to be called Maddie or Meline? And she goes, I prefer Meline. I'm like, oh, I can't wait for you to watch this back and hate me. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I was
Well, and then she went, well, just wait.
Just wait.
Just wait. It's okay.
Get ready.
One up your ass. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. In the second ratings, you tied with Rachel for 5th, which you were very embarrassed about.
Yeah, it's Rachel.
Yeah. How are you feeling with K-Fern and Gianna heading into the influencer chat?
I knew it was going to be Savannah or I, and I full on thought it was me. I was prepared to go home that day because, like, yes, in theory, Rachel would have been cool, but Rachel would have been cool for only like my side of the house. Like, I didn't know how tight Gianna and Rachel were, if they were at all. So I didn't know who Gianna's alliances were with, but it was safe to assume Gianna was going to fight hard for either Savannah or I to go home. And I didn't know Savannah never reached out to Gianna. I had no idea that that's what ended up kind of saving me over Savannah, was the fact that I did reach out to Gianna, which like, holy fuck, that's insane. Yeah. But that, oh man, I was like sweating bullets that day. I did not expect to see Savannah's name on there, but I was kind of glad I did. Savannah, I love you. But if you think about this from Kevin's standpoint, it does make sense.
Does it?
The math behind it, right? So Savannah, as you see on her journey, the only ally she had was Rachel, which Rachel's coming after Kevin pretty much the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
Andy has Darian, and Darian has Jadeja. So I do think the math behind it makes sense for Kevin, and like Gianna still gets out someone she hates anyways. So I see why people are upset about it, and like if I were Savannah, I would be upset about it too. But the math behind
Savannah was always gonna rate Kevin high every time.
Yes, that's where it's like,
and then no one's gonna trust him because he eliminated his number one ally, and everybody knew. They were announced number one allies, right? You guys all knew they were like husband and wife or whatever you guys call each other.
It was talked about in our bro chat that it was like there's that one message I sent where it's like hashtag Kavana, hashtag Jadarian, hashtag Andalin. It's like it was known, at least to me, that Kevin was crushing on her. But I don't think I ever knew that they like had a chat on their own, that they solidified something.
I see.
But then didn't it come out after this, like in like the big fight between Kevin and Gianna, that he kind of threw Savannah under the bus even though they were close?
Yeah, and like in the at-risk chat, Savannah's like, I have a crush on him, like take it easy on him or whatever. So it was known that they were like a thing, and there was kind of like 3 couples happening. But I mean, it was a shock to everyone. Like I see why me going home would have made sense, and I see why Savannah going home makes sense. It's hard. And what I wish people would talk about more, and to this player, I love you too, Jadeja is the middleman in this conversation.
No, that's what we said. We said, why wouldn't you just send Jadeja home? No one's going to care. She doesn't have enough allies at this point.
Yes. And like the whole argument of it's going to piss off Darian totally makes sense, but it's day 1. Or no, it was day 3.
Yeah.
He's not going to have anyone to go to. He's going to have to be with you. He's not going to have to go somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know if that was talked about more, because like they show what they show, but maybe they did come back to Jadeja and something in their conversation turned them back on to Andy and Savannah. I don't know, but that day was fucking awful.
Yeah, it obviously just should have been Jadeja. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Either way, that room is just like pressure.
Yeah. I mean, either way.
Oh my God, bros are forever.
You know?
I'm curious how you guys all viewed Kevin. Well, or just you. How did you view Kevin in the circle from a strategic standpoint? Because he seemed like such a wild card and so unpredictable, but at the same time, like he kind of puts himself on an island a lot, to where he sort of has a very fluid game and can be a free agent to anyone and join up with anyone. How were you looking at Kevin throughout this experience?
See, that's so funny, like watching it back, because like you have a weird perspective watching it. But when I went in there and I saw he blocked Savannah. Am I lagging? Am I good?
For a second, your
audio is fine.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, so I see that he blocks Savannah over me, and I immediately I was like, Kevin has got my fucking back. Like, regardless of what he did to Savannah, Kevin's my number one and I'm his number one. And I know everyone else has reason to see it differently because they're not the one that just got saved by him. So yeah, like from everyone else's standpoint, Kevin's a little like untrustworthy, but for me, he's the most trustworthy. Like he made a move.
You had to roll with it. Yeah.
Do what?
You had to roll with it.
Yeah, like that to me, like he showed the ultimate like proof of loyalty to Andy. Everyone else should be a little questionable, but I felt secure in that relationship for sure. I was like, he's a better bro than Darian at this point because he like actively showed the entire circle that he is for Andy and he would throw his girl out the window for it. So I saw him as number one for the rest of the game until, well, share that spot, but
Yeah. You try and form a band alliance with Kevin and Garrett called the Mermen, but it turns out Kevin was really never. It turns out Garrett was really never that into it. How certain were you about this alliance?
Not really. Like I tried in almost every, like at least in every first chat I had with someone to kind of make them feel like seen. So that's why like I call it the Merman because it's in Garrett's bio. The whole like I like to play mermaids. I was like, I want you to know I'm paying attention. But that chat was kind of random. And now I see why they wanted to give Garrett that dilemma, which we had no idea at the time that Garrett was in that dilemma. But Kevin, I started that chat with Kevin, right? And I started that chat with Kevin to thank him. Like I say, like I could literally kiss you on the mouth right now. Like, how did they not know I was a catfish? Come on. But I started that chat specifically to like talk to him about like, holy shit, I see what you did. Like, let's lock this in as like a final 2. Like, let's fucking, like, it's me and you, dude. And then the first message, he's inviting Garrett in. And I'm like, oh, all right. Well, there goes that conversation I wanted to have. Sure, let's pivot. Another ally. All right. So that, it was a fun, like, kind of like hee ha ha kind of chat. So I think we all left that chat kind of being like, all right, I'll put Garrett like 4th now. Like, he's not going to surpass Darian or Meline. So Garrett, I think I did end up rating Garrett 4th after that day. But it wasn't like anything that we were all serious about, I don't think. It's just good to talk to someone new and kind of like show someone else that like, hey, this is me, I'm here. So it was good to make contact with Garrett, but it didn't really take precedent over anything, unfortunately.
You called it a band alliance, but the band alliance already happened in season 3.
All right, listen, I've talked to Nick.
I mean, it's a little unoriginal.
All right. I think Kevin took what I said and then listen. If you watch it back, I say
blame it on. Isn't Kevin getting enough hate on the internet? You're gonna throw more hate on Kevin. Poor
no
Kayfern.
Hate at all. It's just the order of operations. I think I said like I consider you part of the band, and then he's like, let's start a band. So
okay.
But we actually named our alliance. Talked to Nick.
True.
I don't think they ever did. They were
Nick's
just
a fake drummer. He doesn't even know how to play drums.
He's a fake. Don't worry.
Okay, I called him out for that too the other day. I was like, your band wasn't even real because you were faking being a drummer, which I was faking being a bass player.
Yes.
So
You did. That's so funny.
But
was he like, have you been talking to those guys at Reality Alert?
Yeah, it's so funny.
No,
I met him at the last circle party, and he was like, "You're a fake podcaster. You don't even podcast."
What is up his ass? Holy shit!
It was hilarious. It was funny.
We chat a little bit, and
no, we love Nick. We
love Nick.
He's so mad at the band. He's so mad at the band, but his season was like 14 years ago. It's fine.
Oh
we
my
named
god!
We named our band. I think that matters more.
Was his band shot?
Fired.
Wow.
Was his band shotgunning White Claws? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think
Probably
so.
not. Probably.
Wow. All right. We get to the make out, marry, murder game. Let's see what you did, Heather. You made out with Juicy. You married Kevin, which we all would, because you wanted to make a big move for your boy and you murdered Rachel. This really upset people. Let's see what you did to Deb.
You put a ring on it. Oh, Andy, you dirty boy.
You really upset some people here. Why?
Okay, let me just. All right. So I didn't realize people were gonna take it so gender specific and like they took it very like sexual orientation forward, and I didn't. I saw that game as whoever you put in your marry is your number one, whoever you put in your makeout is your number two, whoever you put in your murder you don't give a fuck about. So I thought strategically that I wanted to make a public stand to Kevin as like a return of his big move. This was like my big move back, that like, hey, you got rid of your girl for me. This is me foolishly telling the circle I would get rid of my girl for you by putting you in the marry versus the makeout. And I knew that if Meline felt some type of way about this, I could jump in a chat with her and explain it better than I could explain to Kevin, Darian, possibly Jadeja, if they felt some kind of way about me putting Meline before Kevin, if that makes sense. So, like, if I married Meline and made out with Kevin, which I should have just fucking made out with Gianna if we're taking it so gender specific, but god damn. But I wanted to, like, I don't know. I just knew that I could make Meline feel more secure in putting her second than I could make the bros feel secure if I put one of the bros second. And then with Rachel, I wanted Gianna to know that, like, I don't hate you anymore. We're good. I meant what I said when I said forgive and forget. So I murdered Rachel to show Gianna, like, could have been you. And I'm so glad they showed the twins saying that. Like, oh, Andy could have murdered us and he didn't.
The murder part is good and makes sense. What you just said, I think I think it makes sense in a way, but you just really mixed up the Juicy and the Kevin. I think we could have just said I'm making out with Kevin for, you know.
I thought about it way too long. Like, I probably thought about it for like 20 minutes, and then I see
you're
how
still thinking about it.
Would Kevin have freaked out? Would Kevin have freaked out if you left him off the board entirely in that game?
That's a good question, because seeing the way he plays the game now, he probably would have even noticed. Like, he probably wouldn't have even noticed, because I thought in my little bubble that Kevin was seriously like second guessing his decision to send Savannah home over me. So I for sure thought he was like, man, Andy better come through for me after this. Like, I gave up Savannah for him. So I wanted to like show him that, like, you don't have to second guess it. Like, I got you. But seeing Kevin play, and he's like, I'm going to make out with Gianna because she's cute, or whoever.
It was so funny.
Darian made out with Gianna too, right?
Everyone fucking made out with Gianna. Everyone did.
Kevin was like, because of the initial attraction, Roy's his reasons to think. He's like, yeah, because I was initially attracted to her, so I'll just do that. I'll marry this person because of the initial attraction.
She's hot, so I'll just make out with her.
I'll murder this person because of the initial attraction. You know, I'll just keep...
That's what,
and then you're over here like, I don't want to upset Kevin.
Yeah, I thought
so.
Him
the wild card for a reason. He's such a wild card.
See, watching, like, I never saw Kevin as a wild card ever. Like, playing the game, I saw Kevin as like a solid dude, and
wow.
So seeing him play,
and what do you think now? Rewatching it, what do you think?
Completely different.
Yeah.
He didn't put as much like power and thought behind his relationships as I did, which that's his game, you know, good on you. But I just for sure thought people were thinking the same way I was. And that's where I screwed up, is that like Kevin didn't give as much, like he didn't give as much of a fuck as I did. So seeing him play is hysterical because I had him so wrong.
Yeah.
So you had an explicit chat with Deb. I'm going to ask you what it was like with you, but I have a specific question. Was it not odd when she asked you if you're her hashtag only fan? Was that not weird?
Was that a red flag? That was a huge red flag.
Are you my hashtag only fan? Did that not come off as weird?
She's like, this is what the kids say.
So, all right. I never thought Meline was a catfish, okay? But in this chat, which starts off as like, oh, I get to explain myself after this game, and then it turns very weird very quickly. And in real time, that chat probably lasted close to 2 hours. I shit you not. And what they don't show is that I sent pictures back that they don't show. Thank God they don't do that to Andy. Watching that with real Andy would have been devastating.
It's hot in here.
She sends that first picture, I send one back, she sends one back, I send one back. Like, it was a thing. It was
Oh my God. Can we get the director's cut?
Yeah, right.
I don't want it, but it was confusing in real time, because I was like, why are we doing this? Like, we already have this alliance. Why are we sexing it up right now? And in my head, I was like, I know this is going to be good TV. And then after I learned about the profile swap, that's going to be killer TV. Oh my God. Yeah. But then she brings up Rachel at the end. And that's where I was like, okay, there is like kind of some game behind this. Like, she was just kind of like warming me up to talk about Rachel.
2-hour warm up. Wow.
I was just.
It's like you said, Max. I want to see like the Francis Ford 4.5 hour director's cut.
Why did you turn down the threesome? Didn't you think that this was a giveaway that you might be a catfish? Don't you think most men are disgusting? Don't you think that they would have said yes to the threesome? If we're thinking of stereotypical men, we're thinking about how we perceive people, right? So in the circle, we perceive most men would say yes.
Yeah, so that's okay. This is where my strategy comes into. I genuinely channeled the real Andy, like the Andy I know in person. I played as him, and him in real life, he is just like a genuinely good soul. Like, you saw my thirsty picture I had to put. He doesn't take shirtless pictures. Like, the real Andy is just so like kind-hearted. So I was like, all right, how would Andy flirt with a girl? Andy wouldn't have a threesome. We don't have to ask him, but
threesomes are bad, right? That's no sex here on this pod. No sex.
We're very sex negative on this.
Sex negative.
I forgot to play as what Andy looks like, and I started playing as who Andy really is, but nobody knows who Andy
how you
really
hope he is. Yes. How we hope he is. Yes.
Well, I don't know. I was trying to get out of that chat. I was just like, why are we going down the route of threesome? Like, can I just like divert?
Yeah, I know. I would feel the same way. It'd be weird.
Keep this as clean as possible. Also, like, I don't want to embarrass the real Andy, and like, also, I don't know what I'm doing.
Also, you're on TV. No, I would feel the same way. I'd be like, I don't want to do. Also, you don't know who's on the other side. I'd be like, I could be making a fool of myself. Yeah. No, I do get it. It was just funny.
Yeah, I just wanted to be clean and kind of
it's a normal response, but there's no room for normality in reality TV.
Yeah, we wanted to see you really embarrass yourself. Okay.
Yeah.
We wanted to see you bring another person into the chat, and we haven't had a 3-way sexting chat yet. Okay, that's what we want.
I wish
with 3 catfish.
Like, that would have helped my game so much if Gianna got brought into that chat.
Yeah. You have the twins be okay. What are we gonna say? All right, I take my breasts out, and you guys look at them. Do you like my boobs?
I'm gonna touch Andy's balls. Don't clip that sound and put it anywhere.
I won't. I already have this.
2 potential big threats who are gunning for us are literally just hanging on ass to ass right now.
Sack to sack.
You're all sack to sack.
They have some great one-liners. They're so entertaining to watch.
They are, yeah.
So, when she tells you that Rachel is on your side, as we discussed, how suspicious were you of all of this? Like,
of like the profile swap happening?
No, like when she said like Rachel is on our side. Like, were you like, did you really think Rachel was on your side? Like, what did you think about what was going on?
So, in my head, when she says that, I was like, okay, this is her trying to get me to rate Rachel higher to save her. So, like, if Rachel's influencer, I know that Rachel will save Meline. That doesn't do much for me. It just keeps my number 1 in the game. But, like, you see me say like, okay, I need to protect Rachel now or something like that.
Yeah.
Which I don't think that didn't change anything for me, but it kind of like, because you're in there, you have no idea who else, like who is talking to who. You can only, like, you saw me assume that there was a girls chat after we had the bros chat. So like you have no idea who is most connected to who until like some of these games come out or whatever. But I took that Rachel line as like, okay, Meline and Rachel are pretty tight. Gotta maybe watch out for that. Or like, if there is a way I could protect Rachel while also protecting myself, maybe I will. But it didn't really, like, Gianna and Rachel were always last for me, with Rachel being last. So maybe like that next time I just like flipped and put Gianna last and Rachel second to last. But it didn't do much. It just kind of, I was glad she was talking game instead of sex. But
Yeah.
I was just glad to hear anything other than like OnlyFans. So it just kind of, I don't know. I wish I had thrown something out there too to like help myself, but I just kind of like took it and was like, oh, okay, sick. Love that.
You weren't enjoying hearing Deb talk about sex for 2 hours straight?
The fact that it was actually Deb makes it that much better.
Yeah.
That is insane. TV.
Yeah.
That is just.
He's your
so
hashtag only fan.
Yeah.
Only a fan of you.
Yeah, that was the best one. Hashtag only a fan of you.
Do you think
Oh,
Gia
man.
is your only fan? I'm like, fuck, God damn it. Put it to rest, please. It was entertaining, though. It was fun, like, in the moment, too. Until it wasn't.
In the Wild Cards tarot card game, you're given the Alliance Break card. Did you start to feel that you might be blocked? I know that in your next conversation with Darian, you felt that Meline might not be your number one.
So they don't show, but I'm like sitting on my counter. I have all the 10 cards in front of me. And like, as these games get revealed that they're going to save the most dramatic for last, right? So even like in the fucking, all of the games we played, mine was last. The sexy photo challenge, Andy's gets revealed last because like that's not a sexy photo. And then Make Out, Marry, Murder, mine's like second to last because it's the most dramatic. So I knew as those tarot cards were getting revealed and Andy's wasn't coming up, I'm like, something bad's about to happen. Something fucking awful is about to happen. And they asked me, like, you go through every card, like which one is the worst? And I'm like, oh, Alliance Breaker for sure is the worst card to get, but like no shot I'm getting that one. Like everyone knows I've been loyal this whole time. No shot in hell am I getting Alliance Breaker. Boom, it comes up in my head. I'm like, fucking Gianna. And I just knew. Like there was I got assigned Meline. Like I had no shot of disrupting anything with that game. I had no chance of like saving myself or throwing someone under the bus with that. I got Meline. Like I'm gonna make her look the best I can. So I knew it. I knew someone was out to get me, and I thought it was Gianna. And you see that it was Gianna who gave me that card, but I didn't know about the plan behind the scenes. I for sure thought Gianna was why I almost said evicted. I've been watching too much Big Brother. Why I got blocked. So that chat
Are you starting to mix up Angela and Deb because you've been watching Big
Brother? They're so similar. Oh my gosh, I
Same
love
casting,
it.
So
I know.
Angela to win. I'll tell you what.
We
need her to win.
I need it.
She deserves it at this point.
It's Angela or bust, honestly.
Yeah,
that's the way.
Yeah, but they're both on the block right now. But
it's bad.
That's a bummer.
So you weren't shocked by your blocking. You were like, it's pretty.
Yeah. And like that chat with Darian where you see me cry, because I cry a lot. It's insane. I cried every day in that game.
Very Angela-esque, but you have real tears, you know?
Yeah.
I couldn't stop crying. The amount of times I had to fix my eyelashes was so dumb. But I knew, and like that chat with Darian just being strictly emotional was like an accident. Like I didn't mean to. Like there was no game talk in that chat. That was me like sitting on my floor just like accepting what was about to happen and just like feeling so defeated. Like that whole day I was just like, yeah, I'm fucked. There's nothing I can do here. So that, yeah, I knew it was coming. Of course though, It's when the last rated player is immediately blocked. And I see Meline pop up as number 1. And in my head, I'm like, if this was a regular blocking, I might be safe.
Yeah.
Not knowing it was the switch. But if it was regular Meline as number 1 during a regular blocking, I would have been safe probably.
So did you not have too much of an inkling that Darian just didn't really know who was in control of the game or what was going on with the game at that time? Because I feel like that conversation, he was like, yeah, I'll give you the validation that you need, but it's like I don't think he even knew really that
he didn't. I don't think he did either.
Yeah.
I don't think he did either, because if it was between Meline, Rachel, Tierra, and Gianna, they were the ones involved. That means Jadeja never heard of it, Darian never heard of it, and Kevin never heard of it. So it was those 4. I mean, from what we see, I don't know what else has happened behind the scenes, but from what we see, it's those 4 in cahoots. And if those 4 all rated me last, then like the math is there for me to be last. Because you even see, I don't even think Kevin or Darian put me as number 1. I don't think you see it.
No, I don't.
Asia certainly wasn't. So like, if Kevin and Darian were only rating me at like 2, let's say, and then the rest of them are rating me at 7 or 8, then yeah, I'm fucked. And Darian had no idea.
Darian never knows what's going on. He makes Kevin the second influencer when he could have made Jadeja the influencer for the disruptor twist.
He's
so
still bro code for life.
Yeah, he's still feeling the bro code.
Even though he's got this slam dunk ally.
Bros are, I don't know. This whole bros are forever thing is really screwing. It's the curse of the bros, you know? It's really screwing everybody over.
It was real between Darian and I, apparently, but Kevin was just on his own little...
Yeah.
I was playing a different game.
Wild card.
All right, Kevin's the curse. So you end up meeting Meline, or Maddie as you call her, or Juicy as real heads know her. At what point did you learn that she didn't tell you the truth, or can you not talk about that yet?
I don't think it's. I'll say what I can. It does get brought up at the reunion, but that's all I'll say about it.
Okay, gotcha.
But what I will say is, watching it back, I was surprised.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll leave it at that. So obviously, like, I meet her, and I don't know shit until she tells me about the profile swap. And what you don't see her tell me is that she goes through her ratings of the day, and she says, I rated you 4th, is what she tells me in person. She says, look, I had to look out for Rachel's profile. I also have to look out for mine. So like, I couldn't put you first just in case you became influencer and block Rachel. So I put you 4th, is what she tells me in person. She doesn't tell me the whole truth in person.
Because she rated you last, right?
She did, yeah. I didn't know that.
Whoa, so she like really lied to you.
She didn't need to do that.
She didn't just admit the truth. She lied.
She did lie, and the reason behind her lying to me is because you don't know what I'm going to say in that final video.
Yeah, I mean, I would do the same thing.
Yeah,
I'm not judging her.
No, it's true. People have gotten really.
People do it all. It can really fuck you. It can really fuck you over. Yeah,
it could screw your whole game. Yeah,
which she can take this however she wants, but like, even if she did tell me the full truth, I wouldn't have thrown her under the bus in my video. But like, she doesn't know that, you know. So yeah. She did what she had to do, and like, I understand the lies. I do. It sucks, but she, like, sitting with her in her apartment, we were in there for like 45 minutes. Like, we were like girls in that apartment. Like, we were just like going back and forth, like, is Andy real, and this and this and that, and talking about this whole profile switch, which, like, you see me just freeze when she tells me that. Like, I'm like,
yeah,
because then I'm backtracking the whole past 2 days in the sexy time chat. And
you're like, I do things with Deb that I haven't done with anybody.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Like, that's insane. So we're sitting there talking about everything. And I like left her room and I was like, I believe in you. Like, you got this. You're playing a great game. You just got number 1. Well, kind of, but not really. You got number 2, I guess, technically. And I didn't fully understand what, like she never once said it was her fault that I got, like she never once said there was this whole plan that happened.
Okay.
So yeah, I never understood really.
How do you feel about her now?
So here's the thing. When the first episodes dropped on September 11th, I sent a message in our group on September 10th, and because we were all staying up till 2 a.m. to watch. 2 a.m. my time is when they dropped. I was like, half of us are staying up to watch it. Like, we're all about to see this at the same time, and we're all going to be active in this group chat that we have. So I was like, we're all a family here. Like, we did this shit a year ago. It is a game. Whatever we're about to watch does not matter anymore. Like, yes, it's out there in the world, but like, it's done with, and it is a game. So let's keep that in mind. Not knowing what I was going to see, but I stand by that. And like, I know the game that I played, and my goals were to make sure they have no way to edit me as something that I'm not. Play as myself. Don't disappoint Andy. Don't disappoint the metalcore world, and just like be as genuine as I could. And that was my game. I didn't expect the game to be as cutthroat as it was. Like, you see the circle, and usually it is like lighthearted fun with a hint of strategy. I didn't expect to be put in a cast of players who were coming to like fucking play. So that was my bad. I appreciate her gameplay because like clearly she makes it to episode 8. I don't. So it worked for her. I wish I knew I was in the game with people that were thinking that way. Maybe I would have changed some things, but of course I'm a little like bitter about it. Of course it sucks. It makes you think like, what could I have done better? What could I have done differently? But it worked out the way it was supposed to. And I don't dislike her as a person by any means. I think she's great.
So you did give her Andy's number or no?
That's up to them. I'm hands off. Like they are adults. They have free will.
You said you would give her Andy's number, and they were definitely gonna meet.
She has a boyfriend right now. So if they want to reach out to each other, hey. But
you lied too.
Lies were told.
Have you and Meline spoken one-on-one since the circle aired? Okay.
Yeah, I just FaceTimed her like right before this too. Because
you were like, I'm gonna fucking just
I'm
gonna go nuclear on
I'm
your
gonna
ass.
talk so much shit. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah. I'm gonna call you Maddie the whole time.
No, I'm not gonna lie. Like when those episodes came out a week ago, immediately I was like, "Oh, what the fuck?" Like that's how that happened. And I think what like really hurt me the most was seeing what happened after I left, like with the whole like turning on Darian by using my name. That I had no fucking clue about. So I watched that and I was like, "You're joking. Like I'm not even there to defend myself, and you're using my name to lie." Like that got me, but at the end of the day, like she's playing a game, and she's playing the game differently than I would have, but here I am, you know? So I can't be mad. I'm like telling myself that I can't be mad because that's what I'm standing by. Like whatever negative anger thoughts come through me, I'm trying to push them away. But Meline
you really don't know what you're going to get on any circle season. You don't know how strategic it's going to be, and you don't know if the cast is going to be all about heart, and you don't know which way it's going to go, really.
You don't. And I got played, and that's the end of the story. Like she played a better / different game than I did, and it worked in her advantage. I may disagree with it, but it's the game. And that's what I have to kind of like stand by. So we're cool. Like, I appreciate her as a person. Like above anything, we are in this together. And like the shit that she's getting right now, I don't agree with at all. Like people take reality TV way too serious. Like,
you're telling us.
So I'm trying to back her as much as I can while also still telling my side of things. Cause it was a shock, but we're all in this together. And
well, speaking of which, how's K-Fern doing? Is he okay?
Leave K-Fern alone.
He's taking a beating online here.
Yeah, Kevin.
Our boy K-Fern.
Kevin, man, fucking Kevin. He is just a guy. I love him so much. He is exactly who you see on this. Like,
good.
He's just a frat boying around on the beach, you know? Like, he's...
I know, it's just a
so
kid.
fun.
I'm like, whatever. He gets so mad at my boy Cavern.
He's just a lifeguard, you know? Like,
He doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
he has no clue, and it's so much fun to watch. Like, I pegged him so differently. Good God. I had him wrong. I thought he was a catfish at some point, but he's doing his own thing, and I love him for it. He's crushing.
All right, well, as we wrap things up, is there anything else that, you know, when you were watching the show back that you like didn't know about? Or is there anything else that we missed, you know, that we should know about? Anything else we should know about, Heather, from the show?
Let me think. I was only in there for half the time. No, I think from my view, you only don't see one of my chats, but it's because it doesn't really matter. No, that trivia game that we did, you see 4 questions. They left out the Taylor Swift question that we had. We had a question. It was like, which one of the following artists grew up on a Christmas tree farm? And Taylor Swift was one of the options, along with like Ariana Grande, I think, was one of the other ones. And
she's from Florida. They don't have Christmas tree farms there. Easy. Her mom's a marine biologist or something. God, it's stupid.
But I'm mad they didn't put that question in there because I feel like Taylor Swift is like trending forever. So like,
yeah,
why not
come on.
Taylor Swift question in there? But
you knew the George Clooney one, right? How did nobody know who George Clooney was? What's up with that?
Okay, so all right, that question, I fucked myself so hard because on the back of these notes are notes about classic rock bands, right? And Mick Jagger's on here. Okay. I didn't look at these notes during that game. So I thought I'm so glad they didn't show. This was the thing I was most worried about that was going to be in the edit that happened in real time. And I'm so glad they didn't. I'm going to tell you now. I'm just going to embarrass the shit out of myself. I saw the words Mick Jagger and I thought MC Hammer. I'm standing in my kitchen going like, he's the guy with the pants, right? For like 30 fucking minutes, and then I finally
Mick Jagger, the pants guy.
He was with Madonna.
Okay, who the fuck knows in our age group that is on the circle, like 20-year-olds, who knows who Madonna was married to? Is that
us 20-year-olds? How would we know that it was Sean Penn? Us 20-year-old guys.
How would we know?
Me and Caper, we're still in college.
Like I fucking kids. Love George Clooney and Batman and Robin, best Batman movie ever. I didn't know.
Yeah, no. The Sean Penn one, I was like, this is one that might be a little difficult. The George Clooney one, not knowing that one is a little ridiculous. That one they should have known. I mean, he's the Cloon, you know.
I knew who George Clooney was, but I don't know who he's married to. Like, who the fuck is Madonna married? I didn't know who Sean Penn was, but I knew George Clooney and I kind of knew Mick Jagger. I knew Mick Jagger was music, but who the fuck knows who Sean Penn or George Clooney or Madonna are married to?
I don't even know who Sean Penn is because I'm so young. I'm like 18, you know?
I don't know who Sean Penn is either.
Who's Madonna?
Yeah, we don't know. Who's Madonna? I don't even know who that is.
I only know Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Oh. I just started my first year at Penn State. I'm pledging. I'm so ready.
Madonna peaked like when I was born, all right? I don't know the fuck, but...
Yeah. I was born in 2006, so I way past.
Yeah.
No way I'm like 10 years older than you.
Yeah, I mean,
who's this Weird Al guy that all the old people know? I don't know.
Who's Weird Al?
Who that is. Who's that guy?
Oh my god, those questions were fun because you saw Rachel out herself, man.
Yeah,
it was like solid after that game that Rachel's a catfish, 1,000%. And I'm so glad seeing like everyone else thought so. But as far as like what did y'all not see? I think like as far like for my journey at least. You saw everything except for one chat on day one. It was a solo chat with Jadeja, but all we did was talk about Houston. And that was like kind of my way of like proving that I'm real and that I do travel. Oh my gosh. I've been to Houston 4 times. So no, you see everything. You don't see that I named all of my cameras. But that's it.
Yeah, I think that's okay that we didn't get that stuff. I think it's all right.
At the point where you were exiting the game, who were you thinking was going to win when you were exiting?
I straight up tell Meline, and they don't show this. I say, Meline, if you don't get Gianna out, she's winning. And I told her, I was like, that one. Okay. Yeah, I was like, that one chat I had with her where like I made nice. I left that chat thinking like Gianna's fucking good at this. Like every message Gianna sent, I would like take a step back and be like, damn, that's a good message. Like that's well thought out. It's well worded. It is like strategic, but also like conversational. And I was scared of Gianna after that day, strictly by how she approached me on like after getting blocked and just like the wording of her messages. I was very worried about Gianna. So I tell Meline straight up, I'm like, you have to get her out of here or she's going to take this whole thing. So
they're in a really good spot. The Twins too. They're
I
playing
love
really well.
watching their game. Like I love watching how like as soon as I met them, I was like, oh, this is going to be so good. This is gonna be so good. I never once thought Gianna was a catfish. The whole espresso martini thing, I was sold. I was like, yeah, that's definitely a young girl in New York.
I know, yeah. Who was it that thought? Was it Jadeja? Yeah, I was like that. We were talking about like we're like espresso martinis are like in right now. That's very
She had her first one today. Jadeja flew to New York and she just had her first one, so she doesn't even know.
I know, so funny. Well, Heather, where can people find you online if they are wanting to get more of you?
Instagram, TikTok, or both. One's Heather.Rich and one's just Heather Rich. I don't know which one's which, but that I don't do.
Is that a bunch of H's?
Two H's?
How many H's do we have? Okay,
I think one's Heather.Richhh, and then one is Heather Richhh. I should know this, but I don't. It's something like that. And then Andy is Instagram at Andy Glassjaw.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well,
and then
thank you. Sorry. What'd you say?
No, I said his band is Became His Romans.
Awesome.
Check them out.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. It's been great talking to you. I'm sorry that I won't see you at the Circle Rat Party.
Okay.
And the band tour starts
Saturday. I fly to Germany.
Okay.
So German people, hit up that merch stand. Say hi to Heather.
We've got some European listeners.
Yeah, no, I was serious. We do have a lot of European listeners, so that's true. Whenever I go to Europe, all the European paparazzi. Oh, please. Excuse. That's what I have to do.
The schnitzel.
It's a Maximus.
Yeah, schnitzel.
Maximus.
No.
Maximus Benjamin.
Pardonnez-moi.
Wait, before we go, I want to know who you guys think wins.
Who's our winners pick so far? Who's in this?
And has it changed since day one?
It's definitely changed
after
since
our
day
first
one.
batch. I picked Jadeja,
and I picked Darian.
And he picked Darian. Okay. I would say that's changed for me a little bit. I'm not really thinking Jadeja right now. I'm kind of thinking Gianna.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was going to say. That's what I was feeling. I was thinking they were pulling a good game, so we'll have to see.
Yeah, okay. But these things change every batch of episodes. So
I'm staying up to watch them, even though I'm not in them because they drop in 4 hours, and I'm pulling an all-nighter to see how it all plays out. Because holy fucking shit!
Yeah, I'm rooting for the wild card to win it all.
Kevin?
Yeah, we would love if Kfern won.
I just think it would be hilarious. It'd be so awesome.
Yeah, or a Deb win would be pretty great too.
A Deb win would be fun too. Yeah. I want a big character at this point, just because it'd be funny. Yeah.
I think the rest of them are all big characters, and that's what's so good about the cast. Is that everybody in their like own individual world is so entertaining to watch, and like casting struck gold.
They did. It's a real. We really love this season.
Great cast. Yeah. We were saying maybe our favorite cast since season 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's a big deal. We are tough critics here.
I know. I was scared.
You watched. You were like, did you think we weren't going to be friendly?
I thought you were going to come swinging a little bit. I was ready. I was so ready. I'm like, you guys don't know everything.
This is what people don't understand. We're really nice.
We're very nice.
We're good interviewers.
We're honest.
You know.
Yeah, thanks for taking it easy on me. Appreciate it.
I don't think we did.
You did. Listen, I've been talking about this for the last 2 weeks, so it's cool to talk about it with people who like don't know what's gonna happen next and like don't know everything behind the scenes. So like this is fun to talk about. So thank you guys for like actually giving a fuck and like being entertained by it.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Well, hopefully we'll talk again sometime. All right. Bye, Heather.
Bye.
And we will see everyone real soon.
Yay.
It's the place you go when you finish your show. We're your two best friends. Our names are Max and Ben. We're self-proclaimed television experts. It's reality alert.